say there wasn't any substance argued, so it's just simply whether they wanted to make sure the person who appeared was the right person and if the details were correct, but also what the plea of each person was. What is interesting is that I haven't yet had a chance to talk to the defendants, but I am aware that they had difficulties in terms of both costs and the travel involved in coming down from Liverpool here for the hearing. And it is very interesting that these hearings are being bunched up even when they will actually be heard. I believe the judge said that a decision on the in the High Court case will be made just slightly before or slightly after Christmas. So I think that will have an impact on when and how these cases are heard, or whether they are dismissed.
So has everyone, as far as you know, pleaded not guilty?
In all the hearings that I attended, everyone's pled not guilty. But obviously, then, if you plead guilty, you get a reduction in sentence, and so there are various risks that have been taken. I'm sure their lawyers have advised them.
So I think Audrey is coming out now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Oh, Palestina, oh, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Viva, viva, oh, Palestina, we'll be free from the river to the sea.
To the sea. Free, free.
Palestine,
Free, free.
Palestine.
Free the Liverpool free.
Okay, Audrey, you're looking at me, yeah? So Audrey, can you tell us what exactly happened in the court today?
It was bedlam, to be fair. It took hours and hours, and it's quite intimidating because you really are treated like, I don't know, criminal, terrorist, whatever, and you're behind, you're in one of these glass cages, which I think, you can hardly hear through them because they've only got little slats, and this, very, very powerful judge. He was some head Sharon, but basically they put the case. We pleaded not guilty, obviously, and then we've been put to trial. We're being put to trial on the 4th of June next year, 2026. We are making some. We did make protest some things. Some of the statements from the police are going to be completely disregarded because, I was just ready to fight word for word. Although you don't get a chance to say that, but the representation from the barrister, puts it to the judge. And I just thought, it was like being in a dream because you really don't think anybody in their right mind can be serious about this action, labelling people we are the peace people, labelling us as under Terrorism Act, and charging us under Terrorist Act. It's just like a nightmare, really. I knew what I was doing when I decided to oppose genocide, and I'm now fighting to deprescribe Palestine action. And you have to be proud of all of us. There's thousands of us who are doing this. So, we're doing it we're sacrificing our freedom if that's what happens, because it's the least you can do. We all talk about what you should do at Nazi Germany, and we all stood there for 2 minutes today talking about, remembering all those people who've died in all the wars. But we have to remember, a lot of those wars were fighting fascism, and that's what we're doing now. That's exactly the way we feel about Netanyahu, Trump, and in this country as well, and this authoritarian government that we've got has no resemblance to anything that will ever represent working class people. So I think the whole thing is. It's strange that people who you think must be rational, they're judges, but they can sit there seriously, and looking in the eye And when you try to say something else, oh hang on, no, this is you be quiet sort of thing. You're not allowed to say anything, because I did try to say a few things. I did say about the 2-minute silence, for people who died in the wars, we're standing, if you're wearing a poppy today, what are you wearing a poppy for? Unless you support what we're doing, and unless you support people who are opposing genocide, and unless you are, campaigning for freedom of speech, which is what we're doing, is all those things.
So where's this case been adjourned to?
Where's it been adjourned to? Stratford. Sorry, it's been adjourned to Stratford.
So you were brutally arrested by the police in Liverpool. You've come all the way down to Westminster, and now you're told that you've got to go to Stratford.
Yeah.
Do you think you're being given the runaround, and is this the right way to treat pensioners?
Well, I did make that appeal direct to the judge, and he has given us 14 days to put reasons as an application to change it to Liverpool. Although apparently this morning when those requests were made, the judge gave no leeway. Maybe it was because I mentioned the Merseyside Pensioners Association, so maybe he felt a little bit of a leaning towards us, I don't know, but he has given the barrister a fortnight to make an application.
And finally, Audrey, I know you're very tired. What do you think of the solidarity that has been shown today from the people of Liverpool and beyond?
Well, it makes me choke, to be honest with you. People are giving up their time, coming along here. It's an expense to us all. It's an expense in time and money, and it just means everything. I think nobody, none of us would do anything without the support of people around us, and people in the peace movement particularly. They're dedicated to the things that are best in people, the very things that are best about humankind, is to fight for peace. And that's why all these people are surrounding me and Mark and Billy. We are the Liverpool Three. And to be honest with you, if there's any justice in the world, I got really upset today over Billy, the way Billy is being carted through this absolute farce. And I was sobbing in the court, to be honest with you, because of the injustice of it. But solidarity is everything, and it really shows you all. And there's thousands of them. There's going to be another 2,100 of these cases, and there's got to be a bigger fight on, and there's got to be a bigger opposition to this government, and there's got to be a bigger fight in defence of to unprescribe Palestine action. Anuda Amori's case is one thing, and the cases that are going to be held against all of us should never, ever, ever be taken. Absolutely not. So thanks for your solidarity, everybody. It's amazing. Thank you.
Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
Free! Free!
Palestine!
Audrey, did you get a good 36 minutes or less or more?
I don't think I only said about 3 sentences. Oh no, about 4 or 5 sentences, and one of them had to be my name and address. So we didn't get to say anything really. And I don't think we had 36 minutes there. I think the 36 minutes is a reference to the trials.
Yeah.
I think that's in the actual trials. But it's very perfunctory. Didn't want to know any of the arguments, wouldn't let you say anything. In fact, I was spoken over when I tried to say something about this being Remembrance Day. Remembrance Day for all the people who died in the wars. He just talked over me, which I thought was could have given me that. Could have given me a minute or two.
Of course, there is a judicial review coming up later in the month. How do you think that is going to go, and could it affect the process that you're in now?
Well, I think obviously winning, because it's ridiculous that it's going on, because what it means is there's a judicial review, which means to me that the law is in doubt. So why are they going ahead with all these wasting the court's money, which is public money, by the way, wasting our money, wasting our time? Our time is precious to us. We're not young. We have to enjoy every minute, and we're having to come down here to fight. So it's just appalling that while there's a judicial review, they're still processing people like me under anti-terrorist legislation. Doesn't make sense. So that there's that. If we do win, if Uda Amori wins the case to have it de-prescribed, well, it makes a fool of the government. It makes a fool of the courts, and it makes us into, the heroes that we are. And Palestine, it helps Palestine, because at the end of the day, Palestine, the Palestinians are the heroes. They're the ones that are being genocided, and that's why we've got this massive battle on our hands, and we've got to win this, because otherwise, Netanyahu, Trump, Starmer, the whole crew of them, they win. And I'll tell you what, the British people, even if they're not against the genocide, even if they're not even anti-war, they will lose, because these laws will be used against us by trade unionists, for anyone who's protesting about anything. And this country will absolutely, well, it's down the pan already, but at the end of the day, this country will have no reputation whatsoever. And unless people stand up and fight in massive numbers, and that's why there's got to be more and more and more actions by the defender juries. That, I think, it's only by ordinary people, it's always down to ordinary people that we absolutely win these things. And bad laws have to be broken.
How do you respond to criticism of the DoJ protest, that so many people are getting arrested, and some of them, some people, might not have that much to lose in terms of jobs and so on, but some of them are actually quite young, and when they get arrested, this could have life-changing consequences for them.
I fought for women in the 1980s. I fought for women in the 1980s and opposed sexual harassment of staff. I won. I was sued for £250,000 and all the rest of it. And I won my job back. I was sacked for fighting for women. I never worked again. I was blacklisted. Loads of us have been blacklisted. Loads of people in the building trades and every trade have been blacklisted. We have to face that. We have to handle that. In the end, you stand on your principles, and if the principle is against genocide and freedom of speech, stand on it. And don't say people who are old have got nothing to lose. This idea that people have got nothing to lose because they're old, it's absolute nonsense. I could make all sorts of reasons why I shouldn't have done this, or the lady down the road who's in a wheelchair or on oxygen or whatever, can't do it. Well, there's always a reason why you can't do it. I really feel very strongly that if you have to make a sacrifice in your life to do what's right, make the sacrifice, because it's the only way workers ever move forward. Trade unionists, shop stewards, MPs who fight, in South Africa, all the rest of it. Just take the consequences and fight for what's right. We'll have a better world if everybody did that.
Well said. Thank you, Audrey. Yay!
Bit harsh.
That was good.
Well, I did it.
Viva, viva.
Pro-Israel, and they came along to have a go at us. Since then, 2.5 years ago, the biggest demonstration in British history ever was held in London for the Palestinians, and altogether it was 850,000 people. So can you not see how much more the way things have changed in support of the Palestinians? The Palestinian movement now is like the movement in South Africa against apartheid. That's what's happening now. And in fact also, if you look, and I think this needs to be said, the vast majority of Jews in the world are actually against what Israel does. It's only a handful of Jews who are in Israel that actually are in support of this genocide. The vast majority of Jews in the world are totally against it because they don't want anybody to point a finger at them and say that's in your name. In fact, no human being would want to say, oh I'm in favour of getting seeing Palestinian kids shot dead. Is there anything else you?
That's great. Thank you very much.
So were you in court yourself?
Who are you?
I don't know who I am. I'm me. Were you in the court yourself?
Yes, I was.
Okay. How did it go for you?
Well, it was just an arraignment, and they just wanted to know how I pleaded.
Okay.
And where did I live and what my name was. That's all it was.
Right. So do you have a court date?
Yeah, it's for the 4th of June.
Oh, the same as Audrey?
Yes.
Then. Is that going to be at Stratford as well?
I believe so, yeah.
Is that Stratford here in London?
Stratford here in London.
Not Stratford-on-Avon?
No.
Okay.
Nothing to do with what you call Shakespeare.
Right. So, right, okay, well I'll...
I am Mix Billy Gibson and I was unlawfully arrested outside Liverpool Crown Court, Derby Square on the 20th of July because I opposed genocide and I said that I support Palestine and that I recognise the Palestinians and their right to self-determination as a unitarian state. What is going on right now is absolutely atrocious. This government is funding bombs, missiles, F-35 fighter jets from Breeze Norton RAF Air Base that are being used to fly over to Cyprus and then from Cyprus over occupied Palestine to do these so-called watch flights. Why do we need to be sending our money over there? This is our country. We shouldn't be funding a genocide that is killing hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of innocent Palestinian women, children, families, men obviously as well. They're bombing the schools, the homes, hospitals, refugee camps, universities, and this is what we have to do. Most people just sit at home, sit back and go, not my country, not my problem. Well, shame on them, because they have absolutely no humanity, unlike us Scousers. Thank you, solidarity.
Yay!
Woo! Fuck the cities, fuck Trump, fuck ICE, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo. We are the people, we won't be silenced. Stop the bombing now. And Everton are top tier, not Liverpool, sorry.
I think the judicial review at the end of this month, the judicial review on the prescription of Palestine action might affect your case.
Well, obviously, if the judicial review finds that Palestine action was to never be proscribed in the first place, that'd be good news all around, because obviously then everyone's cases will get dropped. But if we still go ahead and say that they should have been, well, that's shame on them really, on the government and the state. Greater Manchester Police Counter-Terrorism Unit and the CPS Counter-Terrorism Division, they wanted to drag us down here to make a whole example out of us Scousers, even though the offence alleged took place in Liverpool city centre. They're just doing it with everyone who took part in the Defend Our Juries demonstration, or in my case, not on the DoJ action, but on the Liverpool Friends of Palestine march. Again, alleged. So I don't want to say anything further on that front, in case I incriminate myself unknowingly.
On that same vein, if you don't mind, how does it make you feel that you're being accused of being basically a terrorist? I mean, this is...
So, basically, and the fact that I'm being made to be a criminal and made out to be akin to ISIS or Al-Qaeda is an absolute joke. Like I said, it's kangaroo court that they're trying to try us in, because the state don't care who you are, what your name is, where you've come from, whether you're employed, unemployed or what. If you're seen to be an enemy of the state, they will make out as if you are an enemy of the state, whether you like it or not. And that's what they're doing to us. They're making us out as if we're the enemy of the state. And it just shouldn't be that way, do you know what I mean?